Paul Watson here for ProSound News TV, Plasa 2010. We're going to talk to Maury now at EAW. We've got the JF here and the KF, some additions to the family, yeah?
That's right, indeed. What we've done is we've revisited what was the JFX series to update ourselves with new driver technology. So it's been at least 6 years since we did the JFX. So now we can take advantage of new driver technology with neodymium drivers, segmented magnets, meaning that they're much lighter cabinets, they've got more air cooling, they're therefore more efficient and also sound better as well. So as was the format before, we've got an 8-inch is the smallest of the cabinets here, the JF8, the 10-inch JF10, 12-inch, which comes in two different dispersions, 90 degree and 60 degree, and 15-inch 90 and 60 degrees. So the difference is that the new series are also available in a powered version. Before, they've always been non-powered, so now they're with the suffix NT. So this here is, in the powered version, will be JF59NT. So that's updated us with the JF series. They're all two-way cabinets, and they would have a two-way power supply with a 1,000-watt transfer, a 1,000-watt amplifier for the low frequency, and a 500-watt amplifier for the high frequency. And all of the cabinets would be addressable via your PC, where you can do whatever delays and EQs and limiting you want to do. Going up from the JF series, we've also updated the KF300 series. Again, there's 60 degree and 90 degree models, but whereas the older version, and they are all three-way bi-amped, but whereas the older models was a 12-inch low end, we've now gone to two 10s. The same 10-inch we use in the new line array. This 10-inch is a great 10-inch driver and appears in quite a lot of cabinets now. So the KF300 series is now two 10s and a coaxial 8-inch and 1.4-inch HF. We've also added a new member, which is the KF200NT. So this is now the smallest KF product. Again, three-way with a single 10 and the same coaxial 8-inch, 1.4-inch driver. To go with this family, we've also introduced the new NTS 250 self-powered sub. Again, self-powered, intelligent box with its own DSP, and in this case, two separate 1,000-watt amplifiers, one for each driver. So this, as you can see here, is pole mounting the 15-inch cabinet, but it can also fly. We've got a fly track on here, and it will have its own fly bar, and this can work with the JF family or with the NTL 720 line array.
Yeah, the 720, what is it? Is that new?
The NTL 720 has actually been around for at least a couple of years now, but we haven't actually exhibited here over the last couple of years. So to people in UK, it is a pretty new product. John Henry's have invested in a couple of systems of it. So it's been, for a year now, it's been the system of choice for Strictly Come Dancing, and has now made it into later with Jules Holland, because it's perfect for the BBC, because they can get enough cabinets on to cover all the dispersion they need, but it still fits the weight limit of the BBC fly points.
And how long has all of the R&D been on this?
The R&D on all of these, well, the plan, the whole idea behind all this started, I think, three to 4 years ago, was the road plan. The R&D, I would say, on the new KF and JF that we just talked about has been over the last year, and the R&D on the NTL 720 was probably a year or two, finishing 2 years ago. Moving up from those, new release in December in America was the KF 740, which is something that we're all very proud of. A great piece of engineering. It's a very lightweight cabinet, a 50-kilo box. We already had two line arrays, which anyone who knows EAW will be very familiar with. The KF760, which is our big horn loaded, all of our line arrays are horn loaded. So we're fairly unique in that amongst all other line array manufacturers. The KF760 is a real long throw and a heavy box. And we had the KF730, which is a 2x10, 2x7, 2 1-inch driver, small line array. What we missed was the middle sized. So the KF740 comes in perfectly to fill that gap. You can hang it underneath the KF760, and you can hang KF730 underneath the KF740. So it's really unified the whole range, and the 760 and 730 are very much still alive and very much still current products, but the 740 completes the family. And the 740 is a very small box, but with neodymium drivers it's still only 50 kilos, but inside there's 6 components. We've got a 10-inch in the sides of each one, the same 10s on each side at the front, then 2 8s for the mids and 2 1.4-inch for the highs. So the whole front is the horn for the mids and highs as well.
And in terms of application, where would the target be for speakers like this?
Speakers like this, a point I missed out here is all of these now, another thing we changed, before they came with fly track in the larger models, whether you wanted it or not. So what we've done now is unify it all. So fly track can be added on all of these models. You'll see that the shape of the box is very similar if you look at the plan view of it. So here, fly track can be added if customers want fly track. Also, it's a universal bracket for all of these boxes. So it's a bracket that will fit them all across these bits here. I mean, later you can get a close-up maybe of the bracket there. Multi-angle with locking angles, but the brackets can fit either as a yoke bracket on the sides or as a U bracket on the top and bottom. And the bracket itself is telescopic. So with one bracket, you can fit any cabinet sideways or long ways, which is fantastic for us and fantastic for the customer, because before, with a range of sort of 8 cabinets, it was always, and we each with their own specific bracket. It's difficult for all of us to make sure we've got enough of each bracket in stock at any one time. And again, for the customer, if they've got a couple of different size boxes, they'd have to have the various different brackets, whereas now, you know, one stone is killing all the birds in the sky.
Has there been good reaction to these then?
Yeah, there's a great reaction to these, but again, because they're very lightweight. This also shares the same power supply 3-way amp pack as the NTL 720. The other 2-way cabinets have a separate 2-way power supply. But they all have pole mount cup on the bottom. So you've got yoke or U brackets, and you can fly them. So they're perfect for any application really, corporate or as a standalone PA. You know, you've got, each one's got its own power amp and its own delay, so they could all be on separate mixes or separate delays, or they can all be lumped together. They can also be used as infill boxes or outfill boxes with larger systems.
Seems that a lot of your systems are multi-purpose then.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a focus for us, to make everything as flexible as possible. You know, I'm sure we're not unique in that, but that's one of the things that really you've got to go for these days. Any sound manufacturer needs to be as flexible as possible, I would say.
Great, thanks very much.
Okay, you're welcome. I've just
okay. Oh yeah, sure.
We already had the very well-known SB1000, which has been a world-famous, very popular box, 2x18 sub for many years. In response to that, that's still alive. We've reincarnated that as the SB1001 and 1002 with updated drivers, which has increased the power handling from 1600 watts to 2400 watts. But now they're flyable. This is an SB2001, but the 1000 series now have cut out for fly track, so you can fly a column of up to 12 subs. but you don't have to buy them with the fly track. If you don't need it, you can buy it without the fly track. You can add the fly track at a later date. This baby here is the SB 2001. It is actually only a couple of inches bigger than a 1001, but this is two 21-inch drivers for those of us who feel the need to take things to a slightly lower frequency. So this is also a brand new product, and lovely they are.
Great, thanks very much.
All right, you're very welcome.
Okay, this is the DX1208. This is a DSP matrix mixer.
That's correct.
A new product?
Yeah, this is another new product at a fantastic price point in the market. It's a 12 input, 8 output digital matrix mixer. They can be networked with up to eight of them in a block. And we have DX Link, which can transmit 16 channels of signal from one to the other.